Let's not take a test today. Okay, let's do it on Monday. Today, let's discuss a few interview questions, which they might ask, and let's have a doubt clearing session. Any doubts you guys have? Any topics you want me to discuss? Let's clear all the doubts today. You can ask me. Everything clear? Shall I ask questions? Then ask questions to me, or else I will ask you. So the question is, why do we use Cascade, Sentinel and Protect? Instead of asking why, the question should be, when should we use these things? It is mandatory to use one of these. Okay. So why won't come? We have to use. So when do we use? When should I pick this? When should I pick this? When should I pick this? Okay. When I have two tables, let me take an example of question and option table. I have a question table. I have an option table. Okay. In question table, let's say I have four fields: text, question type, marks, okay, and which test it belongs to. It is connected to test table. Now, I want to create a table that should be connected to question. In this, what all fields do have options? Check option table. Go to models. Question. This text. Okay. It's correct. Okay. So, this is a question table. This is option table. In this table, I am picking one row. Okay. One row. In that one row, I will be having that particular question will be having the heading like this: text, Q type, marks, and this. This is question table. This is the first line or header. Okay. My first row will be having one question here. Some question: what is Python? What is Python? Question type is text or description type. This is marks, I am giving 2 marks. It is connected to test number 1. Like this, I will be having 50 questions. Okay. Now for this particular question, we don't need any option because that is of type text. If I have a question something like MCQ based, let's say I have a in second row, I have a question that is of MCQ type. For this MCQ, 4 options will be there. That option I won't store in the question table. I will store in the option table. Okay. So let's say the question is 2 plus 2. For this I am giving option 1, 2, 10 and 4. So in this option table, 4 rows are there. So I have an option table. In this heading will be question, text is correct. This is the heading. In this, let's say this is the question number 2. So for question number 2, first option is 1. Whether it is correct? No. Basically this is false. For question number 2 only, I need another option. Second option I am giving as 2. This is also false. For question number 2 only, I need another option. I am giving option as 10. This is also false. For question number 2, I need another option. I am giving option as 4, which is correct. Okay. For one question, that particular question's ID is 2. That one question, I need 4 options. So as you can see, this table and this table we should correct somehow, right? Then only we can give this number here. This 2 belongs to this row. This is different table, this is different table. This is connected here, this is connected here, this is connected here, this is connected here. So we need a connection. We need a connection between 2 tables. Now when I do the connection, this question comes. Should the connection should have, when I delete it, connection is done. If I delete this, for this option, this question will behave like a parent. Because first comes question, then comes option. Question is parent, option is child. Okay. Now, question should be, if I delete the parent, what should happen to child? At that time we should decide. If I delete this, should child also delete means pick this. If I delete this, if I don't want child to get deleted, then choose this. Then what happens? For example, if I choose this kind of setting, this kind of relation, if I delete this row, what happens is, when I say set null, when I do this, all this will be gone, all this will be gone. When I choose this, here 2 will become null, 2 will become null, 2 will become null, 2 will become null. What I am doing is, I am setting the null, because I don't have the relation anymore, because that row is gone, parent is gone. Now I have to write null there, so that system will take it if I choose this relation. Next comes protect. Okay. Why we use protect is, going back to the previous data. Protect means, if I have this relation, if I try to delete this, the system will say you cannot delete it, you have a child first, you have to take care of it. If you want to delete this first. Got it? Here there is nothing like that. If you are deleted, your child will also delete, gone. If you are doing this, if you delete, child will be saved, it will become null. That 2 will be gone, that relation will be gone, but null will be there. Protect, if you are setting as product, then when you delete the parent, system will only say you cannot delete because you have a child. If you want to get deleted, delete your child first. Then what you will do? Delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. Then you can delete this because no more child for that. So that is what protect is. It's up to your decision what your table should have a relation. For me, this makes sense. For question and option relation, this makes sense. If question is not there, what will I do with option? Right? If question is only not there, why do I need option? That's why the relation is cascaded there. Understood? I will use protect when I will give an example for Sentinel. A teacher will create a test. Okay. Let's say the test has a column created by. Test is done, everything is done, result is released. Okay. After 1 month, teacher leaves the company or leaves the organization. At that time, if I delete the user, if I delete the teacher, test shouldn't get deleted. You are getting? Teacher is gone. If I delete teacher, test should be there. I don't want to lose the test data. At that time, I can use this one. What happens? Wherever the teacher name is, there null will be written. Another example for protect is user is there. One user is there. He made a payment. Payment table is there. User table is there. Okay. This payment table is connected to user because some user might be doing the payment, right? If I try to delete that user, I should get the pop-up that you cannot delete the user. This user has made a payment. If you want to delete it, first delete his payment. So in that kind of situation, I can use protect. If the child's data is very important, then use protect. Unless you delete the payment, you cannot delete the user. So this is based on how you want to connect the tables. Concept is very important. Okay. Still, if you are getting doubt, ask me now. Yeah, let's start question one by one. Let's start from here. Tell me, why do you use init method in Python class? Init method. Purpose of init method in Python class. In class like this, we will be having a class. We will be having class name. Inside that we have a init method, right? Underscore underscore init underscore underscore. Why do we use this? To initiate? We will not initiate the class. Okay. What will be contained inside this? Variables will be there, attributes will be there, right? So when I create an object, what happens? When I create an object for this class, what happens? Calling the for example, okay, tell me what will be happening inside that init? What is the full form of init? Initialization. So what are we doing there? We are initializing the values. Whatever values we give while we create the object, that object will be initialized for that particular object. Okay. Yeah, next you self keyword. Why do we use? What does self says?
It is used to call that objects inside the class.
Okay, you are somewhat okay. Can you be more specific?
Constructor.
No, not constructor. If I do self dot something, so what does that self means at that time? Recall the concepts. Yeah. When do we use that self? Everywhere you use self dot something. So what does that self means?
We have first is the variable inside the class. We use it as
No. That is fine, but what does exactly self means? What is self? Self means what in English? Myself, right? Self. So program is saying self means who it is referring to. Who is saying self?
class.
Object. Why do we ask that self? Because one class will be having so many objects. When I say self means who is calling it, that object's data I want. Confused? See, one class will be having many objects. If one object is saying self means it is talking about itself. Getting? One object will be there. Okay, class will be there, some init will be there, something inside. Here, somewhere inside the class, I am saying self dot some variable name equals to 10. I am doing. Outside I have an object. Okay, I have an object 1 equals to 1 class creating one object, creating another object. This object is, when I do object 1 equals to num means one object will be created. So wherever inside that self, wherever I use self, who called that? Object 1 called. So self means this object 1. If object 2 is calling it, then object 2 becomes that self. Who calling it, they become the self.
Each object represents an object.
Yes, correct. If object 1 is calling, it will become self. If object 2 is calling, this will become self, because every object is independent. They will be having their own data.
It's like introduction. I am
Myself. So when you say self, it's for you. When he says self, it's for him. Got it? Self means referring to that particular object, who called that object. See the answer. the specific object instance that is calling the method. Alright. Self refers to the particular object that is currently calling the method. Python passes it automatically. You never write it explicitly. You don't have to, what to say? You don't have to set up all these things. Python will do it. Okay. That particular class will be having so many methods. So when one object is calling, that particular object's data will be taken. So that object will become a self. For example, in this one method will be there. Display. Here I am saying print self dot variable. Outside I am calling in this self variable. Okay. Object 1 is calling display. Object 1 is calling display. Where is this display? Display is inside the class. So object 1, this object is calling, right? So this self will become, this object will become self. Got it? That is the connection. Whoever calling, they will become self. Next you. What is the difference between class attribute and instance attribute?
So class attribute can be accessed in inner and outside.
Yeah.
Instance attribute we can access it in this method.
Okay.
Inside the method.
Any other difference? Any other difference? Instance attribute belongs to whom? What is the scope of it? Instance means what? So instance attribute belongs to that particular object only. Class means anybody can. Yeah. Read the answer once.
Class attributes are shared by all objects.
Yes.
Instance of attributes are created by objects.
Is it clear, right? Yeah. Next. Okay, say one, encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Give one example. Try, no. What's there to try? Pakka interview question this is. 100% interview question. Say. What is encapsulation?
It's wrapping.
Yeah?
It's wrapping of methods and
Wrapping the correct say.
methods. Wrapping methods and objects.
Okay. Any other thing? Where do we use that encapsulation? Oh yeah. Okay. Till inheritance. Very simple. Say. It's okay. Say. It comes from another class. If that particular class has some behavior or whatever that class belongs, if I want that in my class, I will inherit it. Right? That is inheritance. Polymorphism. What is poly? Poly means many. Morphism means morph. Have you seen Dashavatara movie? Seen, right? That is polymorphism. One person having different avatars, right? So polymorphism means you will see as one, but it will be behaving differently in the different places. So that is what polymorphism. Okay. For example, one method will be there. Same method will be there in different classes, but in one situation it will behave something else, another situation will behave something else, right? So based on that situation, it behaves accordingly. That is polymorphism. Name will be one only, behavior is different. Abstraction. Abstraction. Say you never heard the term only. Say whatever you think. Oh yeah. Okay. Abstraction means the real code, actual all the difficult code, everything will be behind the scene. You won't see it. You won't know what is happening inside. You just know if I do this, this will happen. You know what it does. You don't know how it is doing. Right? You watch the movie. All you know is if you get the ticket, you can get inside the theater. You can see the movie. Right? That is what abstraction. You don't know what is happening, how the movie is created. You don't have to know how many budget is involved in this, how many actors, what are different, how many days it took. So many things are happening on the behind the scene. You don't have to know how projector is working. You don't need to know. All you know is if you take the ticket, you can get inside and you can see the movie. That is abstraction. Okay. You should know what is happening. You need not to know how it is happening. How part you don't care. That is abstraction. Read this. Louder.
Encapsulation.
Yeah.
Having data inside an object.
Yeah.
Only exposed with flow control. Data several methods. Unlock the bank account. Balance is hidden. You access inflow. Deposit draw methods. Never directly.
So, in encapsulation, what we do is we have a sensitive data that will be hidden inside. Nobody can directly come and change the variable. We cannot directly change it. Nobody can touch it unless you have an access to it. Okay, if you need to touch that data, either you have to give the password or you have to give some OTP, something like that. You need to prove who you are. Unless that you don't have the permission, outside the class, if you're trying to do, this is my object. If my bank balance, I can give something like this. You can't do it. You can't change the value. That is private data, bank balance. That I am hiding inside. Encapsulating, I am wrapping the data, protecting something. Right? That's the hiding data inside an object. That data will be there. We won't able to get it unless we have an access to it. Okay. Any other variable you can do it. You can change anywhere in the program. You can change it. You can change the value. But whichever the private data, how to set the private data? Before the variable, you have to write the double underscore. Very simple. Just put double underscore. That will become private. In other programming language, so many things to do. Set private, set other, so many. Just underscore, it will become private. Okay. Inheritance. Say.
Child class inherit all attributes methods from parent. A child inherits property from a parent, but the parent gets nothing from the child code.
Yeah.
Class, employee, person, employee get all personal detail, person, methods, property.
So what you understood from this?
Child class inherits all attributes and methods from parent. A child inherits property from parent, but the parent gets nothing from the child. Class, employee,
Say what you understood from this. Say what you understood from that. I'm giving the answer also. Say. Say, we have 50 questions to cover.
child get all methods from parent.
Yeah. But parents? So if you need something from someone, you have A, you have B. If you need everything from A, what you have to do? Inside A, write inside B, write A. That's it. This is how we can implement. This we have seen in the many places in Django, right? If I declare some class, if I want that class to behave something, if I want it to behave like a serializer, I will inherit serializer. If I want to create API for that class, I will import inherit API view. So if you want to give some behavior to your class, just inherit it. You don't have to implement anything. Everything will be written already. Just have to inherit. Next, polymorphism. Read.
Same method, name different behavior per class. It means different each to South Indian list versus North Indian list. Given both Indian from list.
Okay, ignore it. It might get confused. Tell this line. Same method name, different behavior per class. What does that? What do you
Same
feel?
method, different behavior per class.
So what you understood from that? I just explained about 5 minutes ago.
Same method from different behavior from same class.
What? Say again.
Same method from different behavior.
Okay, see. You will be having 5 class, okay? Your class A. Okay, you have a North Indian class North Indian, you have a class South Indian, you have a class American. Okay, in this one method is there, that method name is it. In this one method name is there, that is the same name, it. Here also it is there. Okay, in this, inside it will be different. What do North Indians eat? That particular thing will be here. Here also eat only, same name. Some other food will be there. There, same name, other food will be there. So, if this class object calls the eat, this will be, that particular eat will be called. Here, if you call it, it will behave like this. Here, if you call it will behave differently. There, if you call it differently. So, multiple class having the same method name. That is what I say. Same method name, different behavior per class. Got it? Next, abstraction.
High complex implementation shows only what is needed. So only what is needed. When you press the order button on TV, you don't see the restaurant or delivery logics. All you get within one simple button.
Yeah, say what you understood from this.
The order you can get the order you get, not the preparation.
Yeah. So all you know is if you click that button, you get food. You know what is happening, what it does. You don't care what is happening behind the scene. That is abstraction. Never forget this in life. Okay. All effort. Any time, any question, anyone will ask. Interviewer. Okay. What is method resolution order? You are learning for the first time. Okay. So, I'll be having a class A, having class B which inherits A, and having the class C which inherits B. Okay. This will be having it, this will be having it, this will be having it. So, don't have it. This has something else. Some other method. Okay. So, I create an object out of it. Object equals to C. So, object 1 is created. C object is created. Now I call object 1 dot eat. What it does is, first it will check who I belongs to, C. Do I have eat method? I don't have. Then it will check its parent. If it has, here I wrote chapati, here I wrote rice. Okay. If I have eat here, chapati will be printed here. If I don't have eat here, Still this has one more parent. It will check. First it will check, do I have? No. Do I my parent have? No. Do my grandparent have? Yes. So rice will be printed. So that is called method resolution order. This is methods. Inheritance will be there. First it will check, do I have? No. If I have, then done at that moment. If I don't have, I'll check my parent. Okay, if it is there, it will print that. If I don't have, if that don't have, go up. No. Super comes when you explicitly want to call. Here, if you want to exactly call this person, then you can use super. When you forget about super, it is not there here, it is not there here. Okay, but when you do object or it, first it will check, do I have? No. Do this have? No. Do this? Yes, it has. If this also don't have, this is error. Okay. Yes, read it. Yeah, read. Is it clear? Yeah, can you try this? Class method, static method, instance method. Difference. Tell me the difference. It uses class means everything uses class. And it's the difference. So what is this called when I do at the rate? What is that called? Yeah. No idea? Decorator. Remember, it's called decorator. Okay. I have a method for, I will be having so many methods inside the class. Okay. If I have a method, on top of that, if I write static method or write class method, what happens when I write static method? What happens when I write class method? When do I use static method? When do I use class method? And when do I use instance method? Yes, right. It's okay. If it is wrong, also fine. No. You are not getting. See, what is this and why? When do you use it? Forget about what part. Okay. Tell me, when do I use class method? When do I will be having so many methods. When do I write this on top of that method? When do I write this? When do I write that? When do I write nothing? When I write nothing, it's the instance method. Now only I am saying. When I write nothing, see, this is instance method. Instance method, instance method, instance method, instance method. Okay. If I want to make that method as a class method or a static method, I will write the decorator like this. So when do I write it? Sorry? We work with class only all the time. Any other better answer? Then we leave the class. Refer the class. Okay, just by referring the class name, if you want to use a method, then class method. Static method. What is static? Inside the? No. Okay, tell me the meaning of static. English meaning. Don't know? Okay. So see, static means it's like a fixed thing, fixed. Okay, there is no movement, nothing, just fixed, like a statue. Okay. When do we use static method? As a helper function we use helper function. For example, so many things happening inside the class. If you want to create one method which will convert the integer to string, or if you want to check the length of that particular list, simple job. Okay, it has nothing to do with class, nothing to do with the object, nothing. You want some method which can help me most of the time. It has nothing to do with the object, nothing to do with class. Okay. For if you want any helper methods, helper functions, just use static method. That's it. Any simple job if you want to give, you can use static method. Yeah, try this. Read this.
Instant method.
Yeah.
If method set first param is set the object called on object method used for behavior that will modify the object own data.
Tell me the meaning.
Is used to modify the data by itself.
Yeah. Say again.
The
Yeah. Tell me what you understood from that instance method.
it retrieves and modifies the object by its own data.
Okay. Okay. So doing that, if you want that kind of behavior, you can use the normal instance method. Next, class method.
Class method. At the class method, take method class. First param is the class. The class called on the class. The class name your method function use as a package or alternate constructor. Example, a question create NC2 takes automatically set the type equal to X.
Okay. Tell me. Now tell me, why do we use class method?
So it would be in functions text or something.
Say again.
In functions text or something.
Okay. So this is class method. So this is how the typical class method will look like. This is the method. This will become class method when I put this decorator. In the params, as you can see, I am writing CLS. I am not writing self. So what it means is, usually when I call the instance method, I pass the object. That's why I do self here. Right? Here I don't pass the object, I pass the class. That's why CLS. When I want to pass the class, when do I have to want to pass the class? Because I can use it as a alternate constructor. So what is constructor? Creates the say. Yes, say again. Yes, to create object we use constructor, right? In Python, constructor is hidden somewhere. All we can see is init method, that is initialization. First construction happens, then initialization. So, if we don't like the normal construction method, what Python do, we can create a class method and we can make it as a constructor. In very rare case we use this, but it's good to know. But just know that If it's something like this, it's a class method. We don't pass the object, we pass the class there. Okay. So next, static method.
Static method, self method. No class, no self, no class is just a function to inside the class. Called on class or object. Example, a question is valid by MCQ, just checks a value. Neither no object data.
So as I said, we use it as a helper function. We don't pass class, we don't pass object, nothing. It has nothing to do with it. If I want something, some job to do it, I do the job, give it back. So if I want that kind of situation, I use static method. I use this static method most of the time in my code, okay? So it's very important. It does nothing, I mean, it does not involve in the object or class, but it will do the job. Okay, that's why static method. To make a method static method, I have to write like this. That's it, simple. Yeah, read that rule of thumb.
No. Fetches object data instant. Creates object attaches class data class method. Here utility or helper static method.
Yes. Yeah. Can you say the difference between Git and GitHub? Louder, louder. No, no, no. Any other difference? What is Git? What is Git? Have you used Git? Yeah. So when do we use Git? Why do we use Git? What job it does? We put the correct version. That is the point. How did you set up Git in your system? How did you set up Git? No. See, in every laptop by default Git will be not there, right? You did something to get the Git in your system. How did you do it? Sorry? We install. You install it. Whenever you install, it is a software. It is a software, okay? What kind of software? It's a version control. Your project will be having so many versions. Today you do some code, tomorrow you do something, day after tomorrow you do. So every day it's kind of you do little things. You need somewhere to store it. After 2 days, if you come back and check what happened on the day 1, it will store. Okay, this was the situation on day 1. This was the situation on day 2. That version it will store. That is Git. It's a software to do version control. Okay. So what is GitHub? Where is Git situated at? In where Git? Where the Git will be there? Git. Where it will be? Where do you use Git? In your laptop, right? What is laptop? It's your local machine. You use Git in your laptop. Laptop is a local machine. So this is the place where Git is situated. What is GitHub now? Sorry? User. Any other? Why do we use GitHub? You use GitHub? Then say why. Simply why do you use? You to store. See, whatever you things do in the whatever you do things in the local, right? It will be gone if you lose the laptop. Something happens to your laptop, it is gone. Everything is gone. You need somewhere to store permanently. You store repository. What repository? Git repository in GitHub. It's a remote version control. This is local version control. This is remote version control. Remote means somewhere it's there. The data is stored permanently, right? So your code will be safe in the GitHub server. Getting it? It's like, it's like having, you take a photo, you keep in your phone. You always do it. Once you lose the phone, you lose everything. What you will do better? Go to Google Drive or Photos, sync it, right? What happens at that time? Even if you lose your data, even if you lose your phone, you can log into Drive and get the data, right? Get the photos. Same concept. You write the code in your local machine, it will be there, but it's not saved permanently. Permanently in the sense, once you lose your laptop or phone, it's gone. You need somewhere to store permanently. Cloud storage you need. So use GitHub. Okay. It's not like you have to use GitHub only. You can store your code in Google Drive also. But the thing is, it doesn't support so many things. You can't share the data. You can't do cloning at all. Right? You can store it anywhere. So GitHub supports everything. Whatever Git is needed, GitHub supports. Understood? Same concept only, photos concept. You store it in the cloud because if you delete it in the phone also, it will be there somewhere in the server. Right? So that's why we use GitHub. Yeah, read it. Louder. I can't hear you. You have to be louder. Yeah, next. Answer. See, scope is your machine only. That's it. Now GitHub. Understood? Understood. Yeah. Say, explain the golden rule of Git branching. Why should you never work directly on main branch? Why we should not work on main branch? You know what is branch? You know what is main branch? Say why we should not work on it. Say your opinion. Tell me first, what is branch? What is branch? I use Git. What all you use the Git? Sorry? I can't hear you. branches. Say what are you interested in? Mostly code. And creative. Okay. Anything else? Recall. What all you did in Git? Not recall. So you said no, you push the code. You push the code to some branch. What branch is it? Main branch. So what is branch? If you are pushing to main branch, then there must be other branch also. So when I say many branch, first tell me what is one branch is. What one branch is? Why do we need many branches? Say. No idea. Okay. So listen. When you install, usually one branch is mandatory will be there. Okay, that is main branch. Like main branch, we will be having many other branches also. If you want to create, we can create it. We have comments for that. Okay. Now the question is why we should not use main branch, because right now for your test project you are the only person doing it. Not an issue, you can push it. It's you're at the development stage, right? For example, if you are working in a company, in one project, let's say 4 people are working. Okay. One branch will be their main branch. In this, all the important code will be there. Okay. Your friend will be having the clone of it. Clone means copy of it. When he does the changes, he can do testing, he can do experiment, all this in his own branch. Whatever he do, nothing will happen to main branch. If something happens to main branch, the entire project will collapse. It will break. That's why we need many different branches. If something happens in main, what we do is we create another branch from the main branch. We do the changes here. Once all the changes are done, we do the pull request. Main branch will be managed by your manager, not you. Someone, your senior people. You have to create your own branch. You have to copy from the main branch. You do all the code changes. You complete your task. Now you want your code in the main branch. Okay, because main branch is the final branch that will go to the production. Okay, to do that, you should raise the pull request. Your manager will review it, or if everything is done, he will merge it. Why are we doing this? Because if we are trying to do things in main only, if you do any mistakes, entire project will be collapsed. Everything will be lost. That's why we should never touch main branch. Okay? If you get a job tomorrow, you will be assigned. They will assign you to one. They will invite to a GitHub account. Okay. There one repository they will assign you. They will say complete this task. At that time you should not do it in main. Remember this. You should create your own branch. There you do anything. Doesn't matter. Once you're done, you can raise the PR. You should not touch the main branch. Okay. If you do this on day 1, you will lose the job on day 2 only. Got it? You should not touch the main branch. Now read it. Louder. is CTO? Any idea? CTO. Anyone? You guys don't know who is CTO? We don't know full form of it? No. Yeah? Don't know? Okay. For us, for engineers, CTO will be the ultimate boss of it. Chief Technology Officer. Technical or technology officer. He will report to CEO. First comes CEO. Under him, CTO will be there. Under him, many managers will be there. Under that, sub manager will be there. Under that, senior team lead, something like that will be there. Under that, developers will be there. Under that, interns will be there. So this is the organization chart. So for us, he will decide everything. He is the person deciding everything, even our salary package, everything he will be deciding. Once he decides, he will take the permission of CEO to implement next. So whatever technical things happens in the company, he will take care. All the technical team, all the engineering team, he will be handling. He is the main leader. Like CTO, other C-level employee, C-level officers will be there. Like CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, CHRO, Chief HR Officer, and Chief Financial Officer, CFO. This is also main important role. CFO, Chief Financial Officer. So everyone will be reporting to CEO. Okay. So for us, he is the CTO. Even CTO won't push the code directly to main. If you try to do, understand. Yeah, just now I explained pull request. Say, repeat. Say, when do you use pull request? Say one situation, I do this, then I do pull request, then this will happen. I just know I explained. The answer is there at the 6th line. You want to see. Read it. Time is running. You have to go fast. Only 13 questions we covered. So if you want to say in Tamil, also say. It's okay. I need answer. இப்போ தான் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறேன் புல் ரிக்வெஸ்ட் என்னன்னு சொல்லுங்க. Okay, read that 6th line. Question number 13, 6th line answer. Huh? Sorry? She can't see. Okay, I will read. Correct workflow, git branch feature login, git checkout, then make the changes, then commit, then push, then open the pull request, then do the code review, then merge to main after approval. இப்போ நான் என்ன சொன்னேனோ அது தமிழ் டிரான்ஸ்லேட் ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. சரி, புல் pull. What does pull mean? அவங்க பார்க்காதீங்க, இங்கே பாருங்க. புல் என்ன இங்கிலீஷ்ல? Say. What will be faster? It's 7:26. See, you don't have to hesitate, okay? If you hesitate here only, what you will do in the interview? Say, pull and ಅದು push ಅದು pull and சொல்லுங்க. Say, I don't have much time. I'm just asking the meaning of pull. சொல்லுங்க, அது சொல்லுங்க, லேப்டாப்ல இருக்குங்க. அது க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க, நான் சொல்லி கொடுக்குறேன். இங்க பாருங்க, அங்க பாருங்க, ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. புல்ல உங்க பேர் என்ன? எப்போ சொல்லு புல்ல It's been more than 1 month, right? We are meeting. If you hesitate with me only, what you will do with the stranger interview? Tell me, what is the issue? Is it a language issue or with your personal issue? What is it? Say, I don't have much time. You're wasting my time. Okay, leave it. See, you pull it first. Same situation. Say, what is pull request? I just explained 5 minutes ago. When do we use pull request? That's it. You make some changes in one branch. If you want that branch in main branch, you do the pull request. That's it. What do git pull origin main do? You might have read this command. No. That is different. When do we hit this command? Git pull origin. Okay, have you done git push origin? No. Then how are you not using Git for your project? Not using. Not to use it. Then why did I teach you? Can you say when do you use git pull origin? Correct. To pull, see here GitHub will be there. Yeah, here GitHub will be there. GitHub at the top. Here Git your local laptop. Cheap. Okay. So here some changes will be happening. Something new changes is there. New code is there. You want that code in your local branch. That's where you use git pull origin. Main, this is the branch name you are representing. Here so many branches will be there. Out of that one main will be there. That main changes will come. If you give any other branch name, that branch name changes will come. Okay. If you make any changes and if you want that changes in the GitHub, then instead of pull you write push. That's it. New changes in GitHub, git pull. You made changes you want to push, git push origin. That's it. So tell me merge conflict. When does it happen? How do you resolve it? Okay, tell me. When merge conflict happens, you have three options to do. What are the three options? Yeah. Yeah. Correct. So the merge conflict. So the merge conflict happens when you have in the first line you have written something. You have another branch. In the first line you have written something else. Now you are trying to merge both things. Now you are trying to merge it. In this first line, hi is there. In this first line, hello is there. When you try to merge it, that's a conflict. Different code in the same line. Different code in the same line. That's the conflict happening. In the same line, two things are going on. It's like one chair is there, two person is trying to sit. Either the person who is sitting, you have to accept this only. This is the correct code. Either accept this. This is incoming request. Incoming code, or the person who wants to come, that person you have to allow, or else you have to edit yourself. First line you put hi, second line you put hello. Depends on you, how you resolve it. Okay, merge conflict happens, the same line, two different code is we are trying to merge. At that time merge conflict happens. To resolve it, we have three options. One, accept whatever coming, or accept whatever is there right now, ignore what is coming, or you do the editing on your own. Yeah. Which files tell Git which files and folders not to track or push to GitHub? What is that file name? There will be your file name. In there we write everything which all I don't want GitHub to track. What is that file name? No. Yeah, git ignore. Dot git. This is the file name. Okay. Yeah, you see difference between NoSQL and SQL database. Yes. If this is table, then that is any other. That is correct. Any other? No? Okay. So SQL tables, structure, rules, constraints, transactions, so many things. NoSQL full flexible. Okay. Yeah, read it. This one.
SQL example, PostgreSQL, SQL, fixed schema, table relationship, foreign keys, joins, list for banking, finance, structured records, where rules and consistency matter. NoSQL example, MongoDB, flexible dynamic structure, no table relationship, each document can have different views. List for chat apps, product catalogs, variable structure data. PostgreSQL is the first industry choice, open source, used with Django, Node.js, AWS.
Okay. If in interview, most likely they will ask this SQL and non-SQL difference. If you tell this much only, more than enough. Tell this much, more than enough. Okay. Yeah, again you. Foreign key. What is foreign key? Where do we use it? We done test project, right? In that give one example. This is where I use foreign key. You can look at your code. Yeah. Okay. No, 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 not that. Open model server. Open. Faster, faster, faster. Open. In that way, foreign key is there. See. Take any table, check where foreign key is there. Test table. Foreign key to what? Read that line. Where foreign key is written. Test equals to not. Test comma. Okay. Okay. So tell me, what does that line means? Which two tables are connected now? Which two table is connected? Tell me. Question and question and test. Okay. So question is a different table, test is different table. You connect it through a foreign key. So what is foreign key? Before I say about foreign key, tell me what is primary key? Unique? Unique what? Unique what? Correct, unique what? Unique what? Only one primary key is correct. Okay, tell me what is foreign key? How to connect two different tables? How you will connect? You said test and question, right? Now I am saying this is connected. How it is connected? There must be some connection, right? What is that connection? Correct. So test is here, question is here. For each table, primary key will be there. This is ID is primary key, this is ID is a primary key. Now, for this question, we need to connect test. Correct. For question, we need to connect test. So we need to have a test here. Here we need to show the test ID. So this is how the connection happens. So here test ID is a foreign key. That's good. Foreign key is always a primary key of another table. That's good. Test table, one ID, this is primary key. Question ID, primary key. Now you want to connect these two. How you will connect? Put one primary key of another table. That will become foreign key. Yeah, on delete cascade. What does that mean? Cascade happens for deletion only. Tell me what is cascade? Correct. So when you delete the parent data, child data will delete. So this cascade, sentinel, protect, I said no. That is for deletion only, nothing else. For deletion only. Okay. Yeah. What does this mean? Age, integer, not null, default, id. So many keywords are there. Break it down. What is age? Feet, correct. Column. Next. Integer. Huh? Data type, yeah. Not null. Sorry. No, not null means constraint, yeah, constraint. Yeah. So what constraint is that? Not null means correct. So it's a mandatory field. Default means it should take 80, correct. What does now returns in Postgres? Anyone remember this? Anyone can answer. Correct. What is the current time and date? Timestamp. Current. You don't have to pass the current date, time, second, microsecond. Just use the now function in Postgres. It will take the current date and time. Okay. Up till microseconds. Yeah, can you try this? Three things. Map three things from class, from OOPS concept to database concept. I will give the hint. Class, object, attribute. Map this to database concept. In database, what is class? What is object? What is attribute?
Class is table,
Class is table,
attribute column,
column.
object row.
Good. Okay. Now tell me, how does a Python class in models.py relate to Postgres? No, that's not it. Yep. Purpose of virtual environment in Python. What?
Then only the project will be answered. We have to set the environment.
We have to set the environment. Can you tell how we set up the project? Django project. What are the commands we use? Still from the beginning, start from the creation of virtual environment. Just say the steps enough, no need of command. Just say what we should do, step by step. No, before that we should create a virtual environment. No, I don't want commands. I don't want commands. Tell me the steps. First what we should do. Second what we should do. What is that called? ENV? Virtual environment. So we should create it, then we have to activate it. And we did a command that will automatically create the folder. Right? You remember what is that command? Django admin. Django admin. Okay. Now to run it, what is the command? Okay. Yeah. Can you say the difference between make migration and migrate? Make migration. When do you hit that command? When do you write that two commands? Okay. At that time, which command do you use? Make migration or migrate? Have you used that command? No. Have you used those two commands? You use when do you use and when you do that, what output are you getting? Tables. That successful table addition happens when you write make migration or migrate. So, what make migration is? Somewhat you answer. So, these two commands we use when we touch models.py. When we touch the tables, we touch the tables on models.py. We make any changes, any addition, any new table, any new fields, any change in the field, change in the constraint, anything. We first write make migration, Python maths.py make migration. Django will prepare when you hit migrate, whatever things is needed, Django will prepare. When you type make migration, one file will be created. Inside the migration folder, one file will be created. That is a preparation file. Okay, that happens on the make migration. Until then, table is not created yet. That changes is not applied. When you hit migrate, that changes actually happens in the Postgres database. Understood? Ready? What is ORM in Django? What problem does it solve? Don't know? You know?
Do some operation database.
Yes. Any other? What kind of operations we can do with database? What all operation we do with database? Create table, add the values, get the data, any database operation, everything will be done by the ORM. Okay. Can you read till here? Can you read till here? Yeah, you can.
Object relational mapping. You write Python code to interact with the database. Django automatically translates into SQL.
That is the high level definition. Okay. We see database understands only SQL. Django understands only Python. Need a translator between. That's why we have ORM. Whatever we write in the Python, that translation to SQL will be done by ORM. That is what that means. Django automatically translates into SQL queries. Okay. Yeah. The problem it solves.
Without ORM, you will write raw SQL strings like cursor, execute, select from users where ID equals to percentages, user ID, error or prompt, database specific and insecure with ORM, user objects get ID equal to user ID, clean Python, database agnostic, SQL injection, save.
Correct. So here, if we want to, there are two ways to interact with the database. One is writing the raw SQL. This is how you get the data. Select star from this table. This is the condition. Get this data. That is option number one, which is not a good method. That's why we use with ORM. We just have to do objects, table dot objects dot get, give the ID, you will get the data. Internally translation happens. So when you run this in Django, internally this will be running. That will be taken care by ORM. Got it? So this is the driver. This is the translation between ORM and SQL. This changes if you change your database. If you use MySQL, that driver will be different. That engine will be different. Okay? Or if you use any other database, this driver changes. So that is the ORM. Okay? Yeah. Authentication and authorization difference. Yeah. Correct. So authorization means we'll just check whether the username and password is correct or not. That's it. We'll say who you are. It won't say how much you can do, what all access you have, nothing. Authentication, just check whether the username and password correct or not. Then comes authorization. After the username and password is correct, then we will say this is the permission you have, you don't have. Okay, that is authorization. Yeah. You explain how JWT works. What are the two tokens? First, tell me what are the two tokens. Okay. So in access token, what contains? Correct. So when do we use access token?
If they enter in the database go to the users,
No, let's not go till there. Just tell me, you have an access token right now in Postman. Where do you use it? You must have used it somewhere, right? Have you copied it and pasted somewhere? You have done that, right? So where are we pasting it to? Authorization is the key. You paste it there. You paste it for any API. After login and registration, any API, for every API you use this, because that token will tell this is who I am, right? So access token you use. If anyone asks where do you use access token, you should say I use access token in all the API requests except login and register, because login and register anybody can do, right? After that, all the APIs you have to pass access token. Why? To tell this is who I am. Okay. Yeah, that is enough. Yeah. Have you ever got the 401 and 403 in Postman? Yeah, say. Wrong authentication. Correct. 401 means either token is expired or you did not pass the token or wrong token. So 401. 403 have you ever got? No, that is 400. Have you ever got? If you got, then you can explain. If you not got, others. Recall, no? You got, even if you have got, then it's a good news.
most of the people did not got that error. When you did that, you got 403. So what action did you do? What mistake did you do? You remember? No? Okay. So what you have done is, if you get 403, that means forbidden. So that API belongs to only teacher. You might have passed the student's access token. So that time you will get 403. Okay? That means you don't have that authority to access that API. 401 means, I explain, unauthorized. 400 means bad request. Yeah. Can you say the three main job of serializers?
Validation, then translator, Python,
Yeah, correct.
JSON, Python.
One more, you remember? I have explained once, but I did not give much attention to that. If you want to do any logic with that, if you want to modify the data, that also you can do in serializer. Okay. If you want to perform any logic, that you also you can do. One is translation, JSON to Python, Python to JSON, validation, checking if all the data is correct. Another is modification. Okay, if you want to change the data, you can do it. But first two are very important. Yeah. What HTTP storage status should a successful user registration return? 200. What is 200? What is, 403 forbidden. 200 what? Okay. Okay. You know what is 201? This answer is 200 is wrong actually. You don't know what is 201. Create. Here, successful user registration. That means we have created something. New user came. So 201. If we are not doing any new things in the database, we are just dealing with. If you have sent something, for example, login. There we are not registering anything. He sent the username password. I just checked it. That time we can use 200 if everything is okay. Here we did something, creation is done. So 201 is a better way to tell. Okay. Yeah. Which class you should inherit to build a API endpoint? No. In views.py, you write the class some view, for example, questions view. Here you write something. No, that what happens inside the class. You inherit something to make this API. Check your code. API view. Yeah. So when you write API view, automatically this behavior, this entire class will be able to handle the APIs. Okay. Tell 5 HTTP methods. Okay. Yeah. What is request.data? From the? No. From the? No. when I say request.data, what I'm referring to? It's not that answer is not. Where do you use request.data in your code?
Get the data from the user.
Yeah. So whatever user has passed in the postman, he passed so many things in the body, right? That is request.data. The passed request body. Okay. Can you quickly say what is transaction add-on?
Do multiple data operations.
Yeah.
One is transaction.
Correct.
It is either everything will be completed
Correct.
or nothing will be done.
Yes. Yes, done. You can leave.